You. California dreaming about you.
Hey, what is up everyone? My name is Richard. Welcome back to the crypto community. Today I'm going to be talking about the Knowledge ICO and why this could actually change the future if it all works out. Before I get into it, don't forget to subscribe for more content, and let's get right into this. Okay, so first key point is this ICO is open to US residents. That is big because most ICOs are not, US residents are not allowed to invest in them technically. We still find ways to do it a lot of the times, but technically we're not supposed to. And the reason for this, which is really cool, is it's a network utility token instead of a security coin. So it has a purpose other than just for transactions and buying and selling stuff. An example of that would be like Litecoin, how it's mainly just buying and selling stuff. You know, that's what it's for. This is for a project behind it and for a purpose instead, which potentially could save it from all the regulations that'll be coming down on these different tokens and ICOs and whatnot, because the fact that it is a utility token instead of a security coin. So what is Knowledge ICO? Like, what is this thing doing? Well, first off, it's an ERC20 token. It's based on Ethereum. As you can see, there's an ICO stage that's ending here in basically 2 days. It's got a 25% bonus. That's really nice because it goes from 25% down to 10% and then 5% and then 0%. So you get a pretty decent bonus right now, and then after this point in basically 2 days, it's going to drop down to 10% bonus. Kind of stinks, but that's okay. Some important things to know: it just did its pre-sale. So if we go over here, you can see kind of it talks about the different prices. Pre-sale had a 65% bonus, but for the pre-sale, it just ended basically February 12th. This one's going to end on the 26th that we're in right now. And then after that, we go down to 10% and then 5% and then the no bonus, just trying to get some more money. And that ends on April. So the ICO altogether ends on April, which is important to know. But like I said, they did the pre-sale and hit the soft cap of $3 million, which means that since they hit that $3 million, that they're going to go ahead and do the project. So the project is happening. But if they can hit the hard cap, that is $65 million, that'll be really good, obviously, because then they're going to be, they'll have a lot more capital to work with. Since they are doing a pretty big project, it would be important, I'd say, to see it go towards that 65 million because it's such a huge project. Important things to know: $1 US will trade for one knowledge token, or KNW. And yeah, so that's important to know as well. It kind of talks about that over here as to what its final price is going to be as $1, but then you get the bonuses currently based on that price for when it launches. If we talk, okay, now I'm going to kind of go into what this actually is. And now that we went over prices, basically, it's kind of interesting. So, obviously, well, as it says right here, but that's a little bit skipping ahead. But basically, it's for education and employers who want to see the knowledge and skill sets that the people that are testing have, and also for advertisers. And advertisers will be able to offer ads based on the consumer's knowledge on a certain subject matter, which is really, I mean, it sounds a little weird, but it's actually really, really cool if you think about it. So let's say I'm advertising for Tide Pods, you know, I'd go ahead and I'd know that teenagers and young adults probably know about the Tide Pod memes and all that fun stuff. But let's say I wanted to target someone who didn't know about Tide Pods. So maybe I target older people. And what the thing would do is it would basically understand as to what the knowledge that the person has about laundry detergent in general, and it would target them based on that. So if I wanted to target someone who was very experienced and knew what they were doing, I'd probably target that'd probably be older people, and it would target people based on how much knowledge they have about laundry detergent. And you might be wondering, how would they come up with that? And that's one of the challenges that they're going to have to face. They have some interesting solutions that I'll talk about later that you should definitely stick around and see about. But it's basically, they have like trivia games, kind of an idea, where you do the trivia games and it determines your knowledge about these different things, and it'll throw specific things in sometimes for advertisers. And if you know about it or not, then they'll be able to advertise based on that. That's one way, but there's some other stuff too, so stick around for that. But to keep moving forward, app users are rewarded for participating. So to kind of go into that, let's look. Okay, if you were to take like Facebook, for example, Facebook collects tons and tons of knowledge about you and information, but you don't get anything for that. They sell it, they make tons of money off of it, but you don't get anything for that. YouTube, for example, they take a cut because they're the platform, but you still get a decent amount of the money generated. So it still goes to you. So same concept, for giving your information out and your knowledge, you will be rewarded for participating, which is a really, really cool idea. It's like, instead of all these different websites and platforms that just collect knowledge about us and sell it to people without us gaining anything from it, we are actually able to gain from that, which is really nice. Like I talked about, you can target uneducated people to be able to build brand awareness. So it's a really interesting idea as to how it'll work out with this advertising in particular, because it's how do I put it? It could definitely change things, because that's not really a way of advertising currently. You can target demographics based on like age, race, gender, location, income, stuff like that, but not on their knowledge really. And that's because it's difficult for them to gather particular knowledge about a certain thing. Like, for example, my laundry detergent, how are they going to know unless you're like on Facebook liking pages with laundry detergent, which nobody really does. I mean, I don't know about you, that's not me. So it's kind of going to be interesting, and because of that, this is just a rumor I heard. Is not confirmed at all, so be aware about that. But I heard that they're filing for a patent on the way that they collect the information and how they do the advertising, which, if they're actually doing that and they're able to get that, that'll be huge, because then they'll be the only one who'll be able to do this, and the token or the coin will be able to skyrocket its price easily just because they'll be the only one. Which, I mean, if you're the only one and you have a patent, that's obviously really, really nice. Another interesting point that talks about right here, the token owners can buy products from our in-app marketplace. So let's say you advertise for the laundry detergent, right? And you educate this customer on your laundry detergent. You figure out that they are interested in buying it. You can sell it to them through the marketplace using the tokens, ideally. Which kind of sounds a little bit on the edge of a security coin. So you're going to have to be careful about that as to how that plays out. And it's going to be interesting as to how it plays out, because there's not been really any information other than this that's been given. I mean, a little bit, but not a whole lot. It's very, very generic. Whereas these other things, they've kind of really focused in. And then to kind of talk about other than just the education side, I should say, really what you could do. So if you think about major testing for in the workplace, trying to test as to the employee's knowledge and see what training needs to be done, or in schools as to what needs to be taught again for tests, it can be kind of costly. SATs, ACTs, PSAT, oh boy, PTSD from that. But all that different stuff, it can be pretty dang costly. And if you want, especially if you're an employer who wants to test their employees, you could be spending a decent amount of money. This will really reduce that cost, because you will also be rewarded for doing the tests and creating the tests, because you are gathering people's knowledge and their information about them, and that is able to be shared with other people who build different applications and different tests, I should say. So since you're able to be sharing what the stuff that you collect as a creator, you will then be able to share it and then earn some of that money back that you spent to do that tests, which is really nice. Like I said, another key point to hit on, the ICO ends in April, so just keep that in mind. We go down here to, well, I'll come back to team, because there's something really interesting about the team. that's updated in the past like 24 hours, which is pretty interesting. But roadmap, as you see, 2018, it's 2018. It doesn't say, you know, July 2018. It doesn't say ICO ends in April and platform comes out in July. It doesn't do anything like that. It doesn't say when. So this could be in November or very late December even, as to when the platform could come out. Obviously, if they raise tons and tons of money, it most likely will not happen. But it is a possibility to keep in mind and be aware of. But if you come back here to advisors, there was a video posted by Altcoin Buzz about this just the other day, basically. Really, really great team. You should probably go check them out after you're done with this video. But John McAfee, you all know who he is, was on this list. And that was yesterday, basically. And now he's not. So that's kind of something to be aware of. Because he was there, like I said, and now he's not. And that's a little weird. He usually takes very big pride in the teams that he's working with and puts himself there and would make sure he was there. So that's a little you know, I would be aware that he's not on here. You should probably go check out his Twitter and all of that stuff and try and see what he's been saying about this, because the fact that he's not on here, I mean, that means you got to go do your research. Why is he suddenly removed from this list? But beyond that, then we have the team up here. It seems like a pretty decent team that seems put together, kind of knows what they're doing. If you go to LinkedIn's, they have a decent amount of experience, which is good to know. But like I said, be aware of the fact that John McAfee is suddenly no longer on this advisors list. To keep going down, you can see here's some more information about the thing. There will be 150 million total coins. Basically 80 or 69 million of those will be done throughout the whole crowd sale. As you can see, I mean, this is pretty standard right here, the budget allocation and then the token allocation. Press, this is actually pretty nice. If we go to anything here, so let's just pick, oh gosh, okay, BuzzFeed, oh boy. BuzzFeed, you can see they're talking about the app because there's currently a application that's being made. Let me see if I can find who it is real quick for you guys. This guy, he's been developing applications with his group, Gaming Grids, and they are creating applications, same with some other people, not just them by the way, but creating applications like this one that collects your information and through different games. So that's one way, like I said, that they're going to be collecting information is through games, and it'll be really interesting as to how that all plays out, and all the different games that are created and the other methods that they will implement for being able to collect the information. Let's see, what else is important to talk about? I mean, you can see it's been talked about quite a bit in different places. If we go over here to Forbes, continue, talks about it mentions the coin in here, but goes through different advertisements and whatnot, which is good to know. But yeah, it's mentioned in a lot of different places. You're looking at a market cap when this was released of basically 69 million, because each one's worth $1. See the, but it's important to know the difference between what will be released as it really gets released versus the tokens created, because obviously, as you can see here, let's see, we have 6% reserve, 6% for the team, meta mining, bounty. But another important fact is, since it's an ERC20 token, you would normally be able to mine it, but they have it all pre-mined, so you can't actually really mine it. There's the meta mining thing, which I don't actually know too much about, honestly, but that's an important fact to know. There will not be large amounts of tokens to be mined. I mean, overall, as you guys can kind of see, there's a lot of possibilities for this platform, and this could really, really take off. And if it works, right? If it fails, it's going to be a 0. But if it works, you're looking at a hero. I mean, you're looking at one of these. I mean, this is going to be way up there, obviously. If it works out, it's going to easily 4 times its price. I mean, you can see this token go to $10 realistically. Just because this thing could be a top 10 token. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. This could be a top, 20 token, top whatever token. I would say a top 20 for sure if it works. Possibly a top 10 if it really takes off. I mean, if we can get that 65 million total cap and we just really plow through this project, you could, I mean, yeah, I would say it's worth getting in at even 10%. I don't know about 5%, but I mean, personally, I'm gonna consider getting in here in the next day and a half. At 25%, I might not put a whole lot in. I might just put like $100. But if we see that $100 go to 10 times, which is possible, very possible, then I just made or now it's $1,000 basically. But it's a really interesting platform to take a look at. I would recommend you guys really look into this and dive into it, because some of it, like I said, John McAfee just suddenly disappearing here, a little bit sketchy. And with ICOs, that's something we really got to take a look at, because ICOs, I mean, there's no beta, there's no anything that's really out there most of the time. This does have an application for developing the information, but there's not really a way to use that information yet. So that's really it for today, guys. Take a look into this coin, but do your own research and stay safe out there. I will catch you all in the next one.